If you're an agency owner that's below 10K per month in revenue, then that means that you're in the early stages of your business. And this is the main problem that you have right now. You do not have enough clients. It's as simple as that. Now, there can be a case of you charging too low. That's also a situation that you can possibly have. Now, if you're charging only $250 per month or like $500 per month for your services, then that means that to hit 10K per month, you need 20 to 40 customers, which is like a lot, right? Now, when it comes to you not having enough clients, that situation can be summarized as a problem of client acquisition. The question is, how do we fix it, right? Now, let's break down client acquisition first, right? When it comes to client acquisition, you have the offer, that is what you're selling, and then how are you generating attention for that offer through attention generation mechanisms, and then how are you capturing that generated attention through attention capturing mechanisms, and then how are you converting that captured attention into actual real dollars. As you can see, I'm going to add even more dollars. Let's make more money, So yeah, this is the flow. Of course, the mindset that drives all these actions, all these systems, right? How you approach business also plays an important role when it comes to the success of all these things. Now, when you're looking to diagnose your client acquisition, here are the questions that you can ask yourself. This is to be thought of as think of this as a starter guide, right? Starter pack. Is my offer in demand? This is the first question that you need to ask yourself. Translation, do people actually give a crap about what I'm selling? Is that a real need for my offer in the market? What are the mechanisms that I'm using to generate more attention? How am I capturing that attention into usable data? And how am I converting the data into actual clients? Question number 5 is, what are the metrics that I'm tracking for each of the mechanisms? Without this, you cannot diagnose constraints, right? I mean, if you don't know what's going on in your business, how are you going to diagnose the constraints? Now, let's look at some attention generation mechanisms. Common ones are ads, cold outbound, and content. These are supposed to give you more results in lesser time, right? You get short term, if you want to call it that, for a lack of a better term. This is more short term, quick, results. And this is more long term, right? Content is more long term. Content can be approached in the form of short form and long form. Ads can be approached, ads can be approached. Facebook, Google, YouTube, social media advertising, search-based advertising, PPC, things like that. Cold outbound is emails, DMs, and so cold calls, things like that. When you're stuck below 10K per month, then that means that you're not doing enough of these input actions that are required to generate more attention. You're not using these to the fullest, right? You need a mechanism that can enable you to book more qualified appointments whilst being cost effective. When it comes to a high ticket service, a call-based funnel is most effective in terms of conversion, right? Because it is harder to convert a customer without a call, right? Especially if the purchase is above $1,000. Now, if we look at it in the form of a scale or a seesaw, whatever you want to call this, you need to have low investment but high amount of output, which is booked appointments. Because the more appointments you can generate, the more conversations you can have with people that actually have the money to invest in your services and actually have a problem, that requires solving. You can exchange money in exchange for solving the problem, basically. So that leads us to cold outbound, right? This is the 30,000 feet overview of the process of cold outbound. I mean, this makes it look really simple, but there are, finer aspects to it as well, such as how are you sourcing the leads, where are you sourcing the leads from, how are you writing the copy, how are you exactly enriching the data, what type of personalizations that you're using, what are the sales triggers that you're using, how's the technical setup is structured, things like that. Those all also play a role. What's the bounce rate, things like that as well. Now, the main metric, however, is positive reply rate. For X amount of emails or DMs sent, or you could send both emails and DMs, how much positive replies are you getting? How much leads are you getting? And how much of those leads or positive replies get turned into booked appointments? So the two main important metrics are the positive reply rate and the reply to meeting conversion rate. So for 1,000 emails sent, how many positive replies are you getting? And out of those positive replies, how much meetings are you able to book? The biggest constraint that you need to solve right now, especially if you are below 10K per month, is the amount of service market fit that you have. You need data for that. How can you go about acquiring that data? Here's a process that I recommend you follow. I preach this a lot. Create a list of 5,000 to 10,000 people in your ICP, get their emails, LinkedIn profiles, and so on. And create a variant of copy for each offer and angle that you want to test. I would recommend use cold email for this because it can allow you to test really fast. You can have more volume on an automatic basis. Use an automated system for cold outreach such as Smartly.ai or Haiti. If you do LinkedIn, I would recommend either cold email or cold LinkedIn. Send out the email and DM copy to your lead list of 5,000 to 10,000, and then you acquire data from that. That is what I recommend you follow. Now, from the data that you acquired, you need to analyze what are the offers and angles. What are the angles and offers acquired the most amount of traction in terms of number of positive replies and booked appointments, right? And you need to double down on the best performing ones. Take the best performing ones and ramp up the volume on that. That will allow you to acquire success, right? In terms of your campaigns. Now, how do you get to 10K per month? Step 1 is you reverse engineer the map. Step 2 is determine the daily actions that are needed based on the map that you have broken down. Step 3 would be to execute aggressively whilst continuously refining your approach and strategies based on the data that you acquire every day from your daily actions. That's what you need to do. Step 2 and Step 3 is self-evident, but how do you even go about reverse engineering the map? Let me do a live demonstration right now, right? So your goal is to make 10K per month. You have an offer that's at $2,000 per month, right? So that means you need 5 clients to get to 10K per month. And for 5 clients, you need 25 booked appointments at a 20% closing rate, right? Average closing rate. At 10%, you need 50 appointments, but for the sake of convenience, let's assume 20%, right? So for 25 booked appointments, what is the amount of outreach needed? So you determine that by figuring out how much of outreaches are needed for a book meeting, right? Let's say it takes 1,000 outreaches to book one meeting. Then that means that you need 25,000 outreaches to book 25 book appointments. And for 25,000 outreaches, what's my daily outreach target? That would be assuming 20 working days, you would need, let me do the math, right? 1,250 outreach. Okay, now how am I going to do those 1,250 outreach? I would say mix it up with cold email and cold LinkedIn. Or you could call it LinkedIn DMs. Right? That's how I would go about it. Right? I would split it evenly, or I would prioritize cold email in terms of volume, and then I would say 1,000 cold emails, and then 250 PMs per day via LinkedIn. This is what I would do. This is how you would go about reverse engineering the math, right? So to make it a little bit more cleaner, to hit 10K per month at a $2,000 offer, you would need 25 booked appointments, 5 clients basically. 5 clients, 25 appointments booked at 20% closing rate. And for those 25 appointments, you need 1,000 outreaches per day. This is how I would go about breaking down the math. What I would do is basically prioritize these daily actions, right? The daily action is sending out 1,250 outreaches per day. And I would send out 1,000 cold emails and 250 cold DMs on LinkedIn every single day. I would ensure that this is my first priority, right? I would get this done first thing in the day, and then I would test, iterate, and improve every single day based on the data that I'm getting. With that being said, I hope this video was useful. And if you want to learn more on how exactly you can scale to 10K per month without having to go through the trial and error process like I did for like 2 years, then click the link below to book a call with me, and I will go over a custom roadmap or blueprint or whatever you want to call it with you, right? Now you can take the plan and implement it all by yourself as well if you want. With that being said, I hope you have a great day. Look forward to speaking to you soon.